Hey there, Diane Conklin, getting situated here. As I promised, we're going to do a little bit of information here on target market. And I hope you guys will still be patient with me as this is just my second Periscope here, but at least I don't have the propeller in my head, right? So target market, why is it important? And and why do we talk about it? Here's the big thing. You have to know who your audience is. And I'm not talking about, something easy like it's women, right? And you might say, but Diane, my product is for everybody. And that's true. But when your product is for everybody, it's for nobody. What do I mean by that? Well, when you talk, let me ask you this question. You guys tell me this as you're coming on. I like to get into these and jump in, so please don't feel like I'm not acknowledging you. But I get that this is interactive, but by the same token, you got on to hear this information. And if I acknowledge everybody and do all that in the beginning, 2 minutes goes by and you don't get anything except me saying hello to people, right? So target market is important because ask yourself this: let's say women were your market. Would you talk to a 20-year-old woman differently than you would talk to a 40-year-old woman? Now, some of you are saying, Diane, that's a stupid question. Of course I would. That's why target market is so important. If you just say my target is women, then what happens? Well, you still can't speak specifically enough to make it specific. So that the whole point of marketing is I should feel one of two things. I should feel like you're talking to me or this is for me when I get your message. Okay. So targeting down does a couple of things. First of all, it allows you to really figure out who you're talking to, first of all, and who your message is for. And here's the thing. So many people say, well, Diane, I have more than one target. That's fine, okay, depending on where you are in your business. When you're first starting out, you probably don't want much more than one target. If you can really narrow focus, then that allows you to talk to those people. If this is resonating with you guys that are on, or if you're listening to this, then hey there. I'd love some hearts so that I know that what I'm saying is making sense to you. So, great. So here's the thing I want you to think about as you're now writing copy or as you're thinking about your marketing messages going out. Who specifically am I talking to, right? Because if we talk to women, 20-year-old women differently than we talk to 40-year-old women, then certainly we talk to men and women differently. We talk to, there's a lot of ways we could go here. So here's the thing that I want you even to think about. Let's just say that you sell something that truly is for everyone. How can you send your marketing messages out so that it doesn't become an everyone, right? So you're marketing an event, and the event is about making money, let's just say. It's an every business owner, but that's too wide. So take your list and segment, and I can do another Periscope on this, but segment your list into sections and talk to the people differently. So if you have people that you spoke to at another event and you're giving them a special invitation, then talk to them and say, because you were at so-and-so's event, or remember when I talked to you about at. So there's ways to target even inside your own list. But when you're going out, let's just say you're going to put up an opt-in and you want to attract people, right? Who do you want to attract? Here's the problem with talking about target market is that people think, but Diane, and I hear this all the time, but Diane, if I have a specific target market and I only talk to them, then I'm missing everyone else. What about, if my target is women and I'm only talking to 20-year-olds, I'm missing the 40-year-olds. You're right, but they're not your ideal target. That's what I'm talking about. Who's your ideal client? Who do you want to be selling to? Right? I hear so many times people say, well, they don't have any money, which of course is just an objection. And it's one of the easy objections for people but if they don't have money, then maybe your target market is wrong. Go for a higher target client. I'm getting a lot of hearts here, okay? So I'm glad this is resonating with you. If you're getting people who are resistant to your price, maybe you're not dealing with a high enough level inside your target market. So here's some things I want you to think about from a target perspective. I'm just going to sort of run through it. I don't have this in front of me, but I'm going to sort of run through a target market checklist. By the way, if you guys want this checklist, send me an email to info@completemarketingsystems.com and I'll send you my target market checklist. Free of charge, nothing. Just email me. I don't have it up anywhere, or I would just send you and let you get it. But just send an email, info@completemarketingsystems.com, and I'll send you that checklist, right? So here's some things I want you to think about. Their gender, their age, what do they do for a living? How long have they been doing it? Are they married or single? Do they rent or own? Do they have kids? If so, how many? How much do they make a year? What kind of house do they live in? Or do they live in an apartment? And you're thinking to yourself, gee, Diane, that's a lot of stuff. That's just the beginning, right? So we have demographics and we have psychographics. And those are all demographics, which mean they're all things that are easily measured, that are demographically we can look at. The psychographic stuff, we'd be here all day, and you guys have things to do on this Friday, right? So here, hang on one second. I had this great quote from Seth Godin. Sorry about that. And I printed it out because I wanted to read it to you because I love this quote. He's really talking about marketing in general, but it really applies to what we're talking about here, which is target market. And this is what Seth Godin says. He says the biggest marketing mistake that businesses make, they believe in the mass market instead of obsessing about a micro market. They seek the mass market because it feels harder to fail. After all, there's always one more stranger left to bother. It's the small, the weird, the eager that will make or break you. I love that quote, and I use it a lot. So here's the thing I want you to think about. How specific can you get? I often tell people at my live events and when I'm speaking, if you said to me, I want to find, one-legged men who live in Buckhead, Atlanta, who have purple parakeets that are missing a wing, right? We could find that person, right? This is the great thing about today in our world, whether it's a mailing list or whether we look at whatever kind of list we're looking at, offline, online, whatever, we can really specifically narrow in on who we want. Take Facebook ads, for example. Facebook ads are a great way to target once you know who you're talking to, because you can go in and pull all kinds of specific things in the market, right? In those Facebook ads. I mean, you could get as specific as if for some reason you wanted to know people, you wanted to tell your message to just people who were traveling, you can do that. Did you know that you could get that specific in a Facebook ad? You can. Super cool. Super easy and super fast. That's the great thing, is that you can test really quickly with all of these things. So that's a really quick overview of target market. And like I said, I could go for hours and hours, and I do at my events when I talk about this. But I want you to really think about who your target is. Here's the last thing I'll leave you with today. Is the other reason target market is so important is when you sit down and start writing, whether it's an email or whether, and when I say writing, to me, that really means all venues. Even this, right? Talking, shooting a video, writing an email, writing an article, whatever it is that you're doing from a marketing perspective, and everything you do in your marketing, in your business is marketing, really. Then if you think about that person, right, and name her or name him or name them, if you think about who that is when you start to do your marketing, and they're sitting in the chair beside you, now you're just having a conversation. Have a conversation with that person. Talk directly to that person. Talk to Sally or John or Bob or whoever it is. As you're writing and putting your marketing together, it'll make a huge difference in how everything comes out and how you do things and the message that comes across. So that's a little bit on target market. If you guys have things that you want me to talk about, I'd love to hear from you. If you want that target market checklist, I'm happy to send it to you. Just send me an email, info@completemarketingsystems.com. I'm Diane Conklin. Have a great Friday, a great weekend, and I'll be back with you at some point, maybe maybe this weekend. If not, then definitely on next week to talk about some other topic. So you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you real soon.